And happy St. Patty's Day to y'all! And welcome to another episode of Mike Nurichlo Online. So today's show, White Meritage or White Bordeaux. Like you learned in a previous episode, Meritage is the, for lack of a better term, New World word for Bordeaux when it comes to the same blend as what they're using in Bordeaux. So if you haven't tried it before, haven't heard of it before, a White Meritage or a White Bordeaux, typically the white grapes used to blend there are Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. This is in Bordeaux. As well, when they do a white Bordeaux, they'll throw in other blending varieties like Muscadel, Colombard, and Uni Blanc on very slight proportions as well. But typically a white Bordeaux, and especially a white Meritage, more or less most of the time are Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc. Not necessarily in that order. I think typically you get a heavier proportion of the Sauvignon Blanc. The reason they use the two varieties, the Sauvignon Blanc is that racy kind of food-friendly acidity and the lemon freshness and things like that. The Semillon gives it that clean kind of soft mouth feel and the more mouth-filling and creaminess to the wine. And gives it that a little bit more elegance, we'll put it that way. So when you combine the two, they work together well. I guess opposites kind of attract in that way. Semillon's a very interesting grape. They do lots of really neat things in Bordeaux with it. It's the main grape used in Sauterne. I gotta do a Sauterne tasting one of these days because I love Sauterne. But Sauterne is the sweet wine, dessert wine, whatever you want to call it, made in that area in Bordeaux, in the region of Sauterne. Another one of those champagne terms, whatever we want to call it. And Sauterne, not to go into too much depth and detail, get into it, is a late harvest Botrytis affected grape. And Botrytis is, how do you put it? It's a noble rot. But anyway, that's a whole other story, and we'll get into that rotting grapes and making dessert wine. It's really interesting. Okay, so I brought from the Okanagan again, two of the major players today. There's not a whole lot of white Meritage made in the Okanagan. I'm not sure about on the other side of Canada, back east Ontario area, but see how these play out. So I've got one from Jackson Triggs and one from Mission Hill, again two of the major players. So the first one to kick us off, I kind of like the packaging on this. It's a frosted white bottle. 2007 White Meritage from Jackson Triggs. Like I said, major player in the game. Cool kind of clear frosted bottle. So let's try that one out. I brought my stemless glass, and look at that. It's a St. Patty's Day miracle. I figured it's only appropriate. I know this is a no-no in the wine world. I don't care, I think it's hilarious. Look at the color of that green Meritage. Everybody's enjoying green beer out there tonight, and drink responsibly this evening, but have a great time. So let's see what the 2007 Jackson Triggs Green Meritage has to offer to us. Okay, so on the nose right away, you get this nice kind of tart lemon acidity, but it's softened with a little bit of kind of like bread basket or something like that, like fresh bread, which would come from the Semillon. It's got a little bit of a nice white pepper to it or something as well. Quite a nice nose, actually. A lot of lemon coming through, like I said. Okay. On the palate, like I said before, it's got that the freshness of freshness from the Sauvignon Blanc, the fresh kind of lemon lime acidity. It's got a nice creaminess. That hint of white pepper kind of pulls through on the palate as well. Yeah, it's definitely got some like white pepper breadiness coming, white pepper buttered bread coming through. I kind of like that. It's a $20 bottle. One thing I find it's nice. It's a little bit simple, not overly complex. And it's lacking in a bit of length. It's a little bit, the alcohol comes through a little bit high on the length. That's mostly what I'm tasting in the back end. You get the nice creaminess and the tart lemon acidity and things like that, but it's got really nice flavors. Well, but it does kind of fall off a little. Actually, that white pepper kind of carries on through. Kind of thrown by this one. The alcohol is coming through a little bit for me, and certainly at room temperature as well. 13.8% alcohol. Sounds about right. I think they're labeling right. Sometimes they're a little bit deceptive when they put alcohol labels on bottles as to the actual amount. Decent wine. Like I said, not overly complex or anything like that. It's a nice, fairly simple drinker. Served chilled would be quite nice. I'm gonna call it. It's okay. It's okay for a white Bordeaux or white Meritage, and I'll go with about, let's say, 86 points for this one. It's decent. It's a good example of kind of the blending of Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc, kind of what they offer together to each other, kind of on a very uncomplex level. So you get kind of a reading of the classic tastes coming through from them. Not bad though. Definitely not bad. Just not something to write home about. Okay, the next one. And this one, and look at that. More green wine. This is the 2007 again. It's the Sauvignon Blanc Semillon Select Lot Collection from Mission Hill. And when they have their Select Lot Collection, it's more hand-picked grapes, more hand-selected fruit, as opposed to just kind of pulling everything in. Again, look at that color. It's beautiful. Sometimes you can say wine has a hint of green to it, but in this case, it's really coming out. Ooh, okay. I like the nose more on this one already. There's definitely a lot more of that. Again, that white pepper on this one. This one's got a bit more. I would venture to say like a tartar fruit, like a star fruit, or yeah, definitely like a star fruit or a white melon, something along those lines. Neat white pepper, star fruit, white melon. A hint of like that bread basket or baked bread. A hint. Okay, on the palate for me. This has got a really nice mouthfeel and mouth texture to it. I believe it's a $26 bottle. $6 more on this one, but it's drinking a lot nicer than this one. Yeah, it's got really nice length. This one, like I said, the alcohol is coming through. This one, the alcohol integrates really nicely. What's the percentage? 12.5% alcohol, a lot less alcohol on here, which I think is a better number for this. The acidity, like the lemon acidity this one has as well, rests nicely in the back of my palate. It's smooth and clean and creamy. I do get almost a milky or creamy play on the palate. Definitely that neat white pepper. Yeah, it's just got this definitely nice cream taste. The nice kind of lemon acidity. Again, it reminds me a little bit of kind of lemon loaf or lemon cake. But clean, and it's much more, this one's more like elegant, a bit more delicate. This one's a bit more kind of sharp and biting. I like this one. 26 bucks. I'm definitely going to say this is a good plus. We'll call it good plus wine. $26. I'll venture to say yeah, it's definitely got a lot more going on. I'd say 88.5 points for that one. Yeah, I like it. Especially like them because they're green. It reminds me of drinking Kool-Aid as a kid. So anyway, that's it. White Meritage from the Okanagan. Go out, look for it, try one out, and yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Go out, have a gas tonight, drink responsibly, like I said earlier, and we'll see you next time. Oh, another quick thing. Announcement I meant to make in this episode. I'm going to write this above so that people stick around for the episode. It's March 17th today, St. Patrick's Day. March 19th to 22nd, I'm going on a garage Mike Nurichlo online road trip. So you'll be able to come along with me in the next series of episodes. Be a small series I'm putting together, but my brother-in-law, who you met in the previous episode, the beer tasting episode, him and I are going on a Okanagan road trip together. Very road trip style. It'll be a lot of fun bringing our camera with us. And we've got some really neat interviews and tasting set up with some of the major wineries up there, some of the winemakers. They're hosting us, and I'm looking forward to have a really fun time on this road trip. So come along with us, and yeah, we'll see you in the next series. Thanks for coming out today, and have a good evening.